Welcome to the second part of my video series about cards I overperform with. Today we have Develop, which is a very interesting card as it raises a lot of questions about if you want to get it and how you want to use it. It is a card that is unique in the sense that the top decking abilities allow some interesting gain and play mechanics, and it is very polarized on kingdoms where it's either very good or it's really, really bad. And I feel like a lot of players I play against don't really understand these nuances and often mistakenly get develop or mistakenly don't get develop. So for this video, I will show you at first two kingdoms where my opponent went for develop and I did not, and I think my decision was clearly correct there. So we will just see two kingdoms which are really bad for develop, just to show that it's not always a good card to get. Then we will show a kingdom that is very clearly developed, where my opponent again didn't get it. And for the last one, I will show a kingdom and actually play the start of this kingdom, where it's not clear that develop is really that great if you look at the board. And it will be a very complicated kingdom, and we will actually play part of that. So let's look at the developed stats, which are provided by Marcus, which also in large part helped enable the series. So if we look at the win ratio, if you're the only player opening it, we see that there's only a 48% win ratio for the player who's the only one opening it, and only a 46% win ratio for the only player gaining it. Both get significantly worse if we correct for skill. On the other hand, we see that the skill multiplier at 1.14 is quite high, which means a better player will do significantly better than would be expected of him just from the skill differential. So already we see it's a card that is usually overgained, and it's a card that requires quite some skill to use correctly. And you will have to ask yourselves, what two costs are there? Are they good enough for me to want to develop three costs? Is there enough draw to support develop? Are there enough villages to support it? And are there good 3 and 5 costs? And just a lot of considerations that go into this card that are often overlooked in my opinion. So I hope I can shed some light onto those nuances of the card in this video, and I'll hope you enjoy it. We have this kingdom where we see we have goat, so we have a state trashing, and generally we're looking at something like a bridge mega turn. And what is develop really going to do? Well, it can turn free costs like silver into magpie pixie, but that's about the only good use for it. You don't really have a great target for your forecasts. Ghost Town will still top deck, even though it usually goes to hand because it only works if it would otherwise be gained to discard. So develop simply loses to magpie pixie here, and then just doesn't have enough use, uses up terminal space, which is already limited. The Ghost Town split should be very contested here, as it is fundamentally enabling the bridge stuff to even happen at all. So develop isn't good here. My opponent opened it, I never got it, and I think that was a big reason why this game was as one-sided as it turned out to be. The second game where we can see there's inheritance and there's no village, and we have butcher, so this is rather fast-paced. And given that there's inheritance and butcher and really nothing great to develop, there's just no room to ever get to develop. You want to spike inheritance, and then you play with butcher scepter and your caravans from the inheritance, and there will just never be a time for develop. So another bad board for develop. Third board where develop was actually good this time to mix things up. We can see there is coins, so there's already a 2 cost to make developing 3 costs a lot less sad. There is a 4 that's at least acceptable. There is really nothing good to open other than develop. I mean, the alternative would be what, silver, and the fives aren't particularly great early. So here I actually open develop and conclave. My opponent never got develop, and I just was able to win the game simply because I had the extra gains. There is enough draw with patrol. There is more than enough villages between Conclave, Bazaar, City, and Coin of the Realm. There's also a good free cost in Harbinger. So this is just a very clear board for develop, where you play with some canal ball stuff later on, but you always want to have this develop to help you in turn gain and play. Oh, I might need a village, okay, I can develop, or I might need another draw card, okay, I can develop into patrol. It's just the flexibility becomes very good here because you have the villages, because you have the draw, and the alternatives earlier just aren't compelling. So this was a board where it's clear develop, and my opponent failed to see that, and that was the big reason, in my opinion, why this game was very one-sided again. For the last kingdom with develop, we have this board which is very complicated, so I will only show the idea and go until a certain turn, because otherwise this video will just drag on for way too long. If you are interested in watching the rest of the video, which is me playing out the kingdom, and then I will probably produce the video and commentate over that video, which will play at twice the speed or something like that. You can leave a comment or message me on Discord if you are interested in that, and then if there's a certain interest, I will show that as well. Anyway, let's look at this kingdom, and on this kingdom we have a lot of things going on. We have Arch, we have Vineyards, we have the Exorcist build, we have the Lamb from Secret Cave. We don't have any village other than Ghost, and the draw is Envoy, but you can't use it unless you have a Ghost, because, well, it would be a terminal action. And we have Hireling, we have some Scepter stuff as your pseudo village, and we have Grave Robber, and it's just a very complicated board that you look at and you're like, well, I have no idea what I'm doing here. It's at least what I experienced when I played it. And well, you can choose a lot of different routes in the actual game. I also didn't choose the, in my opinion now, optimal route at all, but let's just see how this goes. So the idea is that you use develop early with sewers and exorcists. So I will open develop exorcist here, not sewers exorcist, because I tend to not like sewers open. I'd rather get it on turn 3. So I'm opening double treasure, and then here we know with the exorcist coming up, so if we top deck develop, we run into the issue that we can't really use the sewers all too well, and I'd rather make it more likely that I find my estate, so I will top deck Secret Cave here and get the sewers. Yeah, like here, especially also because we had the Lamb coming up, which we of course don't want to trash. Okay, so here we're just picking up a Haven, trashing these 2 estates, getting a Will-O-Wisp, and then looks like we're just gonna trash again. Okay, we should be able to get a Lamb activation here. Yes. Alright, so this is very nice. Turn 6 Lamb activation. Here we could either trash with develop and exorcist and go super thin, but I don't think we really have any need for that. So in anticipation of our Lamb proc, what will our wishes be? Well, there will probably be Hirelings, because then we can scepter them and have nice duration draw. So for now, I think we can get rid of this exorcist, just get a scepter, and well, don't really want another develop, don't ever want a silver, so I'm getting this. Just another secret cave, and then here we can even trash another copper thanks to sewers, and again, just a secret cave. Not doing anything, but we don't really care much about that. Just want an action for vineyard, for arch, and something that doesn't get in the way, basically. And here we don't want to discard to secret cave. We play the haven. Okay, so here we can wish for hireling, and our second wish will be for gold because we don't need 2 scepter tiling plays. So we just wish for gold and hireling, and we buy our exorcist. And from here on out we don't even need any economy from these caves because we are just going to wish for scepter, kill the scepter, trash a copper, and gain our potion and gold again, and get our first ghost here. And now we're just buying vineyard every turn. We want to develop a secret cave. Might as well set one aside. Trash this cave, don't want to trash here anymore. And here we want to ghost, because we're now getting the second ghost, we don't want to ghost the haven, because then, well, our ghost is going to be ill-timed. So I'm gaining this envoy just to have something to ghost. I mean, I could also, well, I can't really gain exorcist because then I would ghost the haven, so I think I have to do this just to have the correct timing of my ghosts. With my second ghost incoming here. Obviously we're way overdrawing here, but that's fine. And then we just want to ghost again this turn on, well, ideally secret cave, so we kill the exorcist here. Might as well set a will-o-wisp aside. And it's time for Grave Robber. The question will be, because we don't have a scepter yet, if we want to play our Grave Robber twice or the secret cave twice, and I think we want to play the Grave Robber twice. So we're doing first secret cave and then Grave Robber, so the Grave Robber is on top. Goes the Grave Robber, and then regain secret cave and scepter. And from here on out we're just building up our arch points, building up our vineyard points, getting more and more vineyards, buying one a turn, getting a bunch of scepters, and just getting a lot of actions per turn. And that's basically how the play looks like from here on out. I'm gonna stop this video here. If you're interested in seeing the rest of the game, let me know in the comments or in Discord, and I'll upload a separate video showing the rest of this game. As always, thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you think.